ahead. Of course, travel's a big deal for us. Might slow you down this morning, especially over portions of Texas and Oklahoma. We're going to get right to it because we do have a flood threat as well and some severe storms that have been picking up over the plains this morning. Rogers, Arkansas right now, you can see some of the rain left over on the screen there. We've had some stronger storms, especially over portions of Oklahoma into all the way back in through Texas. And we do have a flash flood warning as well that we want to get to this morning. This is going to be near San Angelo. Look at the radar, my friend. It is lit up. And isn't this similar to what we did not just a couple of days ago? Similar setup, right?
Yeah, and there's even Dallas, I think, broke one of the rainfall records, if not the wettest November day. And
by
so
like half an inch.
And that's the juxtaposition of what they've seen this fall season. They went from having a trace of rain in a month to them breaking a November rainfall record, and then another round of rain coming in, prompting flash flood warnings. This one specifically for Tom Green County. However, Dallas-Fort Worth, they're expecting to see that flooding potential ramp up over the next couple hours.
I think you're right. A lot of this is sliding to the east, and some of these numbers say half an inch to an inch and a half that have fallen in some spots, potentially watching for more. So this is radar indicated, but I want to go up to portions just to the east of here. You can see Weatherford, this entire line to Stephenville, Graham. They had some wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour over at Mineral Wells Airport, which is just due west of Dallas-Fort Worth. But look at this, Fort Smith, Sherman. I mean, there are a lot of places just lit up with a whole lot in the way of lightning and heavy rainfall. Look at these intense rainfall rates coming down north of Little Rock right now. Yeah,
things really ramped up yesterday in the evening hours for spots just to the west of the I-35 corridor. But one thing that was interesting on Weather Command weekend, right about this time 24 hours ago, is there was a thick blanket of cloud cover, and the dew points were only on the rise, which means that more moisture is getting pumped into the region. And so that's a big feature as to why we're seeing so much rain. Severe weather also on the table for today. All modes of severe weather are possible. That tornado potential ramping up just a little bit. We're not expecting any strong to intense tornadoes, but a brief spin up is certainly a possibility. And I also think hail is going to be another primary threat there.
Yeah, because you've got some cold air aloft. That combined with that moisture you were just talking about, Haley, you're talking dew points into the 60s yet again, and that's really saturating the atmosphere, giving us some good intense rainfall rates at times. Here's the flash flood warning we just talked about outside of right for portions of Tom Green County until 6 a.m. Central Time. The flood watch extends all the way into portions of southern Oklahoma, and Texarkana also included in this. Broken Bow is going to be there through the day today. Having said that, we do have a level 2 out of 4, and this does include the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way to Shreveport, Lufkin, Texarkana, Little Rock, right up into about Memphis. So, hey, this is a huge area of level 2 out of 4, but the level 1 goes all the way back to portions of central Texas and middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, I also have to say, you know, given the holiday travel, the influx of people, AAA estimating 6 million people going to the airports, and then over probably 70 million people that are planning to drive. The I-35 corridor is going to be a bit of a mess going into
I-35 and I-40.
Yep.
Think about that east-west one, too.
Yep, those are the two interstates, I would say, the ones to watch, as well as I-94 further north, but we'll get into that discussion a little bit later. But the rain will is going to be heavy at times and then continue to slide towards Atlanta. And that's a messy one for tomorrow. Atlanta, biggest airport in the United States. So if you have some headaches there, that can be a problem
major
dispersed
hub
all
for
across
Delta
the country.
Too.